Well, good morning. We are at Brazos Bend State Park, and it's a great day. And we decided, since it's a pretty day and we're on our little holiday vacation still, that we're going to come down here and walk around a little bit. So there she is, Miss Laura back there. She's got Bones always likes to walk with us. We're at Brazos Bend, and I'm testing out my new selfie stick with the really cool gadgetry that my kids got me for Christmas, so I'm working on that. So we're continuing our training for our Appalachian Trail through hike, which we're hoping to do in 2028. We both still have to work 2 more years before it's time to retire. We have to stay employed a little bit longer, just because that's the way of life, I guess. That's okay though. Every opportunity we get to do a little bit of training and walking, that's what we're doing. So Brazos Bend State Park, really nice place. Yeah, pretty trails, pretty trees, the weather's great. We're gonna have a good time today. I also want to give a little shout out. If you can see this little carabiner I got hanging right here, that came in a Christmas card. We got that from Scott at Near Zero Outdoors Equipment, and we're big fans of Near Zero. When we do our overnighters and multi-nighters and live out of our backpacks, we use a lot of Near Zero gear. We support the company, like their stuff, like their business model, and like their customer service. So shout out to Near Zero for sending us a little carabiner for Christmas, and wish them all the luck, and we'll continue to use their gear as we continue our adventures. Anyway, I'm not endorsed by them, or they don't sponsor us or nothing, but I do like the company. Anyway, we're rolling today. We're having a good time, and we're gonna walk for a little while, then we'll check back in later. Rock on, everybody. Miss Laura's taking pictures of a very pretty growth of mushrooms on this log here. One thing that we do when we go on our hikes, and we decided from the get-go if we were gonna get into this, is we're not gonna get in a hurry. We're not out here racing. If we see something we like and we want to stop and look at it, we're going to do that. We're out here to stop and smell the roses, as it were. We're taking our time and savoring the moment and enjoying life. And this is the trail. This is what a typical trail looks like in Brazos Bend State Park. They're wide, they're well maintained, they get a lot of traffic because they're pretty close to Houston, so a lot of people come down here. They're nice trails, pretty flat, pretty thick woods. Of course, you know, it's the end of December right now, so the vegetation's not quite as thick. So you come out here in the summer, this is pretty jungly, but it still looks a lot like this. But this is our home, the Texas Gulf Coast, and this is what we got, so this is where we walk. We love our little trips to the hill country where we, you know, hike on some varying terrain with a little bit of up and down, but here close to the house, this is what we got, and we do love it here. So it's a fun place to come spend a day, hike, have a picnic. It's pretty nice. This is a little area we found off the trail. This little trail, literally the trail's right over there. If you can see where that bench is over, that's where the big trail is. And then this little area would be awesome for primitive camping, but you can't camp here. This is just strictly for how cool it is. But anyway, it says this is a dangerous bank. It's pretty steep, but there's a bench here it overlooks. As you can see, it's pretty steep bank. Goes down, but that's the mighty Brazos River. If you're watching this and you don't know the area where we are over here on the Texas Gulf Coast, this is one of the major rivers that runs through this part of the Gulf Coast. So the mighty Brazos River, pretty cool. Just a scenic spot to look over the river. Also a good river to catch a big yellowcat if you were ever interested in something like that. Anyway, having a great day out here on the trail. One thing really cool about this state park, Brazos Bend, and this part of the Texas Gulf Coast, is these massive oak trees, and they're spaced sporadically out here along the trail, and they're just You really have to get up to it to get an appreciation of how massive these things are. I see something like this and I remember when I was a kid thinking, man, that'd be a cool treehouse tree. But now that I'm older, I just appreciate it for what it is, but pretty massive. Anyway, they're really cool trees out here. Massive oak trees. This is a sandbar along the Brazos River. They call it Yellowstone Point or something like that. This is where an old steamboat back in the old days used to park here when in the early days of Texas when they were bringing stuff into this part of the state. So they bring the steamboat up the Brazos River, and somewhere along this sandbar here is where they would. This is a huge sandbar. It goes way. We walked down there a pretty good ways, but this is where they brought in the big old steamboat and parked it and offloaded supplies or loaded up stuff, probably whatever they needed to get the fledgling communities here going. So really cool. Off the beaten path here, but nice. All right, so we're walking back up the trail, the little side trail that leads down to Yellowstone Landing. I made a video down there on the sandbar at the actual location and I called it Yellowstone Point. But just to correct myself, after I read the sign again, it's Yellowstone Landing. And that's where the steamboat came in and dropped off supplies, picked up supplies, did whatever it was doing during its time. Anyway, we're on the trail, Brazos Bend State Park, having a great day. Couldn't ask for a better day. Really nice. Bones is getting a little break. He got out of the carrier. He's gonna sniff around. He'll probably pee about 25 times. He can't go too far because Mama got him on a leash. But anyway, here we are. There's our little. That's the Yellowstone Landing foot trail. That's where we went in. That's the little historical placard over there that tells the story of it, how it helped Sam Houston get across the river and save the day. All that good stuff. Pretty cool story. Well, we're rolling in, probably our last mile or so, maybe a little less than that. I don't really know. How far? About a mile to go?
Oh, about half.
Half a mile to go? Less than half. Miss Laura. Laura is the official navigator in which way of this here expedition. If she says half a mile, that's about going to be about right. So it's going to be a total of about 8 miles today out here in the various connecting interwinding trails of Brazos Bend State Park. And we've had a great day walking. It's just a really nice day. So we'll be back at the truck here in a few minutes and then we'll figure it out from there. We'll see you. All right, we're in the parking lot. We're rolling it on into the truck. We're going. There's Bones. I don't know. I'm still working on how to do this. Anyway, Bones historically on our hikes, Bones will trot it in the last little leg of the way because you know he's all about this hiking thing. He's not too sure about it, but he gets involved. Anyway, so he gets excited when the pack comes out, that's for sure. So anyway, we're ScottyG and Miss Laura. We don't have trail names assigned to us yet. I don't know what we'll be when we hit the trail, but we're gonna hit the trail. We're training, like I've said, we're training for the Appalachian Trail. That is our goal. So, but until then, we're gonna do lots of stuff like this. And we would certainly like for you to join us on our adventures. Follow us on our YouTube channel as we continue to train and hike and go on adventures and do this thing we call life, this adventure we call life. So if you like what you see and you want to join the adventure with ScottyG and Miss Laura, then like, subscribe, share, tell everybody, and just enjoy life, savor the moment. We'll see you. Happy trails.